Now Mars, ruling wealth, status, and continuation of family life, is in the 12th house of losses, expenses, separations, and foreign lands. So it causes discontinuation of family life. So her parents divorced when she was only 12. And she lost husbands and children. Discontinuation of family life. So Mars is weak because it's in the 12th house. It's also weak because it's less than 5 degrees. It's 30 degrees in a sign. The first 5 degrees is infant state and weak. There's no power to this Mars. So it causes discontinuation of family life. But it does give status in a foreign land. Now Sun is a functional malefic planet. It is not close to 22 degrees, so it's not afflicting this house or the house it aspects, which is opposite. But look at the conjunction with Mercury, exactly both at 13 degrees. So Sun is afflicting Mercury, and Mercury rules the 7th house of relationships, partnerships, joint ventures, and comforts living abroad. So she was killed abroad. Sun rules the 6th house, which is not only health and finances, and litigation, disputes, bankruptcy, divorce, but also accidents. So she was killed in a foreign land due to an accident. This also caused serious setbacks in relationships. So only one brief marriage for a year, 3 children, all of which died. We'll get to that in a minute too. So this Mercury ruling relationships, partnerships, joint ventures is in the house of entrepreneurial success. So she can have some royal entrepreneurial partnerships, relationships, but it's false. They're doomed because Sun is not a benefic planet for her chart. It afflicts Mercury. So for Pisces, they should never wear a ruby gemstone, and they should always wear an emerald gemstone. Now Venus rules this 8th house of accidents and death-like experiences, and it does afflict this house because it is in the orb of 17 to 22. It's actually 17 to 27. It's 5 degrees on either side. So technically this Venus is afflicting this 8th house, and this 3rd house. It rules the 8th house. It's afflicting the 3rd house. She had no younger siblings. 3rd house is younger siblings, and the 8th ruler is causing obstructions, accidents, delays, setbacks, and disappointments relative to younger siblings. So it denies younger brothers and younger sisters. Mars also is younger brother, and it's weak and in the 12th house of loss. So no younger siblings. But Venus is afflicting this house, causing setbacks and accidents connected with her own self-efforts, self-initiatives. And it's quite ironic that she died by the scarf, which was her entrepreneurial activity, using scarves in her dance. Now, planets cast an aspect opposite where they sit. And so this Venus, ruling the 8th house of accidents and death-like experiences, is afflicting where the 9th house where Moon is sitting in its debilitation sign. And Moon rules this 5th house of children. So this Venus contributed to the accident and death-like experience connected with her children. Moon rules this house of children, and it's debilitated. It's less than 5 degrees weak in infant state, and it's in a house afflicted by Venus. So that denies, delays, or it causes loss of children. It would have been good for Isadora to be wearing one single large pearl to strengthen that moon. And she should never wear diamonds. No Pisces should wear a diamond, because it contributes to accidents and death-like experiences. Jupiter, fine, excellent. This is the Panch Mahapurush Yoga in the house of career. So the whole focus is on career. That was her success. However, Ketu aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. Rahu aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. If planets are within 5 degrees, there's an impact. So if you add 5 to this number, you come up with 1431, and K2 is at 1407. So it's within the 5-degree orb. So this K2, ruling disputes and conflicts and health issues, and financial issues, is afflicting her Jupiter in the house of career. So even though she made money, she ended up broke. And Jupiter is husband, so there was huge disappointments in marriage. And Jupiter rules children, natural significator for children, and K2 afflicts. So there's another reason for loss of children. So it would have been good for Isadora and for any Pisces to wear a yellow sapphire gemstone. So we discussed that Mars is weak in infant state, badly placed in the 12th house. So loss of status, loss of discontinuation of family life, starting with parents through children and husband. Rahu, the planet of desires, and Ketu, the planet of spirituality, are not on the most effective point. So they're not afflicting the houses that they occupy or the houses they aspect. And Rahu is 13 degrees from Mars and 13 degrees from Saturn. So it's not causing any trouble to any planets. Rahu is a planet of desires, ambition, and charisma, and it's in the 12th house of foreign lands. And Saturn rules this house. Whenever planet's in its own Multricon sign, it's favorable for that house. So it gives some protection in foreign lands, but it's in old age. Anything past 25 degrees is old age, so it's weak. So it does not support longevity. Saturn is also Ayush Karaka, significator for longevity. It's weak. So it cut shorter life at the age of 50. Let's take a look at the hands on the clock here and a couple of these dates. So she's actually born in a Saturn main period. Lasted about the first 18 years of her life. So Saturn is the root of her tree of life. Saturn rules physical structure. It's often connected with the teeth, neck, back, spine, knees, joints, and ankles. It is in the 12th house of foreign lands. It's the planet of hard work and service, but physical structures. Often see when there's a strong Saturn influence, the person is a yoga instructor, a dance instructor, a chiropractor, osteopath, physical therapist. So around 10, 12 years old, I think she was about 12, so that would have been 89. So somewhere in here, her parents got divorced, separated and divorced, see? Mars, ruling continuation of family life in the 12th house of losses. So she moves to London at the age of 21. That would have been 98. So that's Venus. To pursue her own self-efforts. Venus in the house of self-initiatives. Let's look at one of the early dates here. 1913. Yeah, so in April 1913 is when she lost her children. So she had gone into the K2 main period, the K2 subperiod in February 1912. And this K2 does afflict this Jupiter, ruling children. She was in a Venus subperiod in April 1913. So Venus is running from July 1912 till September 1913. So this is when she lost her children. Let's take a look at this Venus. It is her most malefic planet, ruling the 8th house of accidents and death-like experiences. It's close to the most effective point, so it's afflicting this 9th house. And who's in the 9th house? Moon. And what does Moon rule? 5th house of children. Moon is motherhood. Moon is debilitated. Moon is weak in infant state. So there's utterly weak Moon. And that's when she loses her children. By the way, notice that sun and moon are opposite each other. That happens only around the full moon. Now, the thing about full moon persons is that they get a lot of public recognition. People always say, oh, look, there's a full moon. So people who are born under full moon get public recognition, but they have some disconnect between the heart and the soul because they're opposite. See, I personally like it when moon is with sun, as the new moon. The person doesn't get the public recognition, but they have integration of heart and soul. In this case, there's a disconnect between heart and soul. And then let's finish up with the time of the accident. So she was killed on September 14th, 1927. She was in a Venus main period, which is her most malefic planet, ruling accidents and death-like experiences. And the sub-period was Rahu. Rahu is unexpected calamities, and it's in the 12th house of foreign lands. So these are the main points from the chart. Again, Pisces should pay some attention to, they need to propitiate Sun, Venus, and Saturn. That means we honor the planets causing adverse effects with charities. So she should help her father or father-in-law or elderly men on Sundays. Help sisters or women who are like sisters on Fridays. Help the elderly and the poor and the needy on Saturdays. She should never wear a ruby, a diamond, or blue sapphire, or black. Those are not good for Pisces. Pisces can wear a red coral gemstone, a pearl, an emerald, and a yellow sapphire. Those are the best, safest, and most powerful gemstones for Pisces. Namaste.